I believe we have the most powerful pre and probiotics in the world, healing our inner body. It's all about inner healing now. And we have Sizzle and amazing products. All the products that we need and that we use and that we would buy normally in the shops and supermarkets are now replaced, and we can get them from Sizzle. That means we can have whole health, which is unbelievably fantastic. And while Sizzle have products, this really emerged from environmental issues. And Tom, our senior, realised that so many chemicals were being used. I think Lisa was the first one that became aware of it with sun cream. And Tom Mara says, you're not using that. And he went on to make shampoos and toothpaste and creams and lotions, and so the story goes on, and so it is today. I became interested, I suppose, in natural health. And even though I was involved in natural healing, I really had an enormous amount of information and knowledge to learn it. I first of all had to get rid of all the stuff that had been programmed in my training. And you know, what's happening now is we'll hear about the oil crisis that's taken place. And that really has given me, I suppose, more credibility to actually speak, because when we hear about the oil crisis, it's not about will we be able to drive to the shops or drive to work. It will be, will we have food on our table? Will there be a supermarket? All prices, with the price of shoes and clothes and food, and will we have a holiday? All these things are going to be something that we're going to have to face in the very near future. And food in particular, because I've been passionate about food and about making sure that whatever I bring into the house is as pure as possible, and try to source everything that I can, which I am so grateful for. And people don't realize, you know, when you say, oh, you're eating food that's processed, they sort of think, so what? Well, so what? Because they know that there is a drug system there and a health system there that's going to operate on them, or give them steroids or antibiotics or whatever the case may be, and hopefully take them out of their crisis as they go from one crisis to the next. And that is right through their whole lives. So when I talk about food, I say, do you realize that your food is grown from oil? NPK is a byproduct of oil, but it's still oil. So people are not eating nutrients, they're eating oil. And that oil is one of the most toxic substances that goes into the body. And people don't realize that the health system, all the drugs and all the treatments that are being used and that people are being treated with, they also come as a result of a byproduct of oil. So if we got rid of the chemicals and if we just got healthy food into our homes, that's all we need to do. It's as simple as that. Because when I was nursing, it was an antibiotic. When I talk about pre and probiotics, antibiotics, it was 250 milligrams 3 times a day. And then we must remember, we have more microbes on our body and in our body than there are humans on the planet. We are an ecosystem. And if we destroy that ecosystem, then we're destroying ourselves. So we can see how we are related to the environment. And then when the microbes And they are people, when they take antibiotics, the only thing they're doing is they're doing the same thing as the farmers do. The farmers put NPK on the land, and then when the soil gets sick and the crops begin to die, they put pesticides on the crops to stop the pests from eating them. And then they put herbicides and pesticides and what else? Something else. So it is with our health. When people start to get sick because of an infection, that's a sign that the body is dying because of the lack of microbes. What do? They come along and they give an antibiotic. Antibiotic is the same as the pesticides for the crops. So we need to get a pre and a probiotic. And not only that, but we need one that will work. So that's why I use the Sizzle ones. I'm not here for the good of my health. I'm not here because I like to be promoting. I did not, when I started my nursing, I was doing the very best I could for my patients. And then when I was natural healing, I realised that was better because I was taking in the whole body, treating the whole body. That gave me so much joy for 10 years until I was introduced to the Maher family and the science that now is Sizzle. And when I was doing my reflexology and I was using the shampoos and liquid minerals, I stopped doing my therapy because I am not going to give half measure or 3/4 of a measure to a person and then they go out and they still haven't got the answer. And they go out and if they go to a therapist, they come to me and they pay me to do the reflexology, and then they go out and they have to pay for the food and the medicine and the tablets and everything else. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I want a one system where a person takes their nutrients, that they know why they're taking these nutrients, and they are able to be self-sufficient. Because we need to be sustainable. Talk about a sustainable environment. We need to be sustainable with our health. And that if there's something wrong, we need to look after our gut. We take the pre and probiotics. We look at our minerals. We take the Spectromax. We've got a problem with our joints. We need to take the collagen. We have saggy skin. We need to take protein. We have problems with our hormones. We need to take our omegas, and we need to get rid of all the personal care products that are compromising the hormones. I was talking to a lady yesterday. My heart went out to her. She was a lady who had she had her uterus and her ovaries removed. They told her she had thyroid problems. I told her, with a great chat, I said, I think the problem is coming from your pituitary gland and your hormones. Oh, she said, they're going to look after that now. They're going up to see an endocrinologist. And I thought, they wouldn't be doing that if they had looked at your pituitary gland in the beginning. No point in doing it when that poor woman had her ovaries and her uterus removed. Wasting their time and still not giving her the answer. So for me, it's important. I gave up everything. 23 years ago, I said, no, I'm not going to be part of a health system of any kind unless I can give exact knowledge to people and the exact solutions, and that they will go along and they will get the results that the rest of us are getting. Because, as I say, we are now on a 2-tier health system. Where those that are still going down the oil, food and oil and hospitals all related to byproducts of oil, and we have people that are becoming more sustainable. And of course the thing is, becoming sustainable is you cannot get better than Sizzle. If people say the product is expensive, it's not really. It's a product that's looking after everything, it's looking after your whole health. How much do you pay for your health? For your insurance and for your food and for everything that's out there. Pharmacy, colds and flus, going to the doctor and give them prescriptions. The cheapest thing you can do is look after your health, because your health is the only asset that we all possess. Anyway, I think that's me. We have to get back to Mother Earth, and everything natural. So I have the pre and probiotics. I'm going to just take them now. That's it. I just take them once a day, and yeah,